Welcome to Brief History Conspiracy. This week, it's the Magic Passport. So something we didn't mention in our last video is that on September 11th, just after the planes had impacted, but before they collapsed, a passport was found by a passerby on the sidewalk. Just lay there. It was found on Vesey Street, a few blocks away from where everything was happening. So the person who found it probably didn't realise the significance, but they immediately handed it in to a police detective, Yuk H. Chin. The significance of this passport was, though, that it was actually one of the terrorists' passports, the Satam al-Sakami. So, I've seen a lot on YouTube channels that there's this police officer that found it, and they've confused that. It wasn't the copper that found it. It was the copper that it was handed into. He didn't actually find it, but anyway.
Someone found it. Yeah, but that is how it would go down, I suppose. If you did find a stray passport, it would be some randomer that would manage to escape the day that had seen it and picked it up and thought it might be useful, perhaps, and then handed it to a policeman. So yeah, I do buy that.
So we'll do that. We'll wave this around, see what it does, and then we'll get the other one and place it in, and we'll record how well it burns. All right?
Yeah.
So that's the plan. And then we'll finish our beers and just enjoy the fire.
That's yeah.
So, one of the amazing things about this passport was it was virtually undamaged, and many people have come out since and said, how does that make any sense? We can see that there was an inferno when the aircraft hit. So how did this passport find its way to the street to be found? So I've got a steel rod that I've put into the flame. I want to see just if that distorts. It's been in there a couple of minutes. It's still completely rigid. So when I was looking up this, I thought, well, how hot can it burn? And I was amazed to find out that wood doesn't even start to combust until 300 degrees centigrade. You can't burn it less than that. But then when the gases and everything get involved, it goes up to 600 degrees centigrade. So this little fire here will be anywhere between 300 and 600 degrees centigrade.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. I didn't know that. So
probably say for a small garden fire, it's probably getting up to about 400 maybe. Which,
well, that's just insane. But a lot of wood burners can get over 1,000 degrees easy, and that is going. That is burning. So what I wanted to do first, I'm going to get like an old passport, and I'm just going to sort of wave it in the flames and pull it out and see how quickly it just sort of, if it catches, basically. One thing we did check for this experiment, I'm using the word experiment loosely, it's really more of a demonstration, is that American passports are manufactured in a similar way to British passports, and they are.
is this illegal? I don't know.
I think it might be illegal.
Yeah, you might not want to post this. You might want to check into that before deciding to post it.
I tried, I can't figure it out, so as far as I'm concerned, we only got about 100 people watching our videos anyway, so as long as it doesn't go viral. So here you go, Damien. I don't know your new address. I can't tell everyone your address.
That's good.
Okay, so I think just wave it around and
I'll just make sure I'm unidentifiable.
Let's see if it catches at all.
It will if you do it like that open. It'll catch on the corner.
Come on then.
Right, eventually, if you keep it in the heat for long enough, then it will start to catch. So it's getting singed a little bit on the edges by doing that. It's not really catching yet because you're just waving it.
Yeah, but that's just like holding you're flowing your hand through, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but still getting some heat in.
Don't put it on the logs, but just sort of hold it for a couple of seconds in the flames. Without setting fire to yourself. There you go. It's going.
Yeah,
okay.
that will.
So that took a couple of seconds and it's going.
But then I suppose if it was falling, would it?
Yeah.
I don't think. I think I don't know. Depends on how strong you think. I mean, you're quite likely to, with a strong impact, to put the flames out, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, that's gone out just by dropping it like that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's see what happens. Just actually place it in the flames and see how quickly it goes.
Oh.
See how quickly it disappears.
It'll go quick. Like, proper quick once it's gone.
Yeah.
On top of that.
See how long it takes to disappear.
30 seconds, no, a bit longer maybe because of the spark.
Well, look, that's already at a point where you couldn't read it.
Yes, and that's after about, what, 15 seconds? So.
If that.
30
outer
seconds,
edges
it's going to be
of it
virtually destroyed, and
burning.
then maybe a minute to like completely have got rid of any shape of a passport or a book.
Yeah. Well, the one that we've seen is only singed, so that would explain that must have been ejected immediately on impact.
I suppose the terrorists would have to carry passports in order to get on the plane.
They would have been in their pockets,
Yeah.
or their luggage. And that's
If they were in the
gone.
but if they were in a cockpit of the plane, I don't know. You'd have thought that the cockpit of the plane would have got buried in towards the centre of the building, wouldn't it? Or did it come back out the other side?
I don't know. Exactly. I mean, when we see the aircraft go into the side of the building,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
explode
so
out
it's
the
probably
side.
probably just over a minute now, and it's not. You can't even really tell what it is.
One thing that always throws me about this is, why was the passport found on its own? Surely it would have been in the person's pocket, or a bag in the holdall, or something like that. How was it found in this manner, just lay open on the side of the street for someone to find? And just to sort of test the sort of temperature we're talking about, we're going to burn Friends with Kids, because I am embarrassed that appears in my DVD collection. Let's just see. That is really just because I want to. Oh, it's distorted. Oh, look at that, man.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, his glasses. Step back a little bit. I thought it'd be ironic to burn a fire extinguisher, and then Kay pointed out that will explode. Why are you all the way over there?
You don't know. It might suddenly shatter and fire shards of plastic. Probably won't, but
Okay, so again, if I take another just normal British passport, an old one, just see how long that takes closed. That isn't even directly in the flames at this point.
it would probably be harder to catch closed than it was open.
Well, because there's the leathery outside, which is actually just plastic. There, that's gone
Yeah,
now.
it probably used to be leather back in the day, mate, but not anymore.
That does show, though, that is harder to catch. That is taking much longer than the last one.
Yeah.
And that still isn't catching it. It's singeing around the edges. And there it goes. I can see the bottom end of it's caught now.
Yeah.
But I reckon if we took that out of there,
I managed to melt aluminium before in a fire in my garden.
where's the prongs gone?
Yeah.
So if you then take that.
Yeah, no, it's, you're not reading that, mate. Yeah, no.
That's out, isn't it? That's not.
Yes, you would not put that out even if it fell a very great height to the floor.
And that is still burning. That's energetically burning now. So what we're showing really in this demonstration is that when the passport was closed, as it would have been on the aircraft, I should imagine, it burned much slower. So the fact that the passport wasn't really damaged, was barely even singed, is important. It must not have been caught in the flames. It must have been ejected immediately for it to have survived. If it had been caught in the flames even for a few seconds, this experiment shows it would have burned.
Basically.
Like somebody put it in the oven for 20 minutes and then just put it on the side of the road.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't tend to buy that.
For me, everything that...
Not when the smallest piece of, or the largest piece of anything coming out of the Twin Towers that they found of like office furniture and all that kind of stuff was like parts of like telephone number pads with like one number and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's the level of destruction that it was down to. The telephones were broken into ridiculously tiny pieces.
There were other things found, even up to a year after people were finding bits and bobs. Cash cards, wallets, things like this. The one thing I can't seem to find though is if any other passports were ever found. And that's really important. Of all the people aboard this aircraft, The only passport that was found was one of the terrorists' passport.
So the hijackers just chucked their passports out as they were just before they were hitting the building. They like slapped.
Open the window.
Yeah, opened the window and just chucked them out. Yeah, it's about the only.
No, I'd go with it. That doesn't make sense at all.
I can't figure a plausible way of doing it. I don't think we'll have got that hot enough to bend it. You might like twist the ends slightly,
No.
but probably not.
That is still completely rigid. And like I said, that's only 1 millimetre thick. So that just shows you really how strong the metal is.
Yes. But the temperature's probably, like we said, only probably at least 300, probably around the realms of
It's got to be at least
400,
300.
Yeah.
They reckon once the wood starts going, it gets to about 600 degrees centigrade. So, and that's how hot they think the fire was that burned 9/11. So, again, how much would the fire have touched that steel? So to conclude then, one of the arguments I've seen is that this guy's name was actually on the passenger manifest anyway. So why would we, if it was faked and if it was planted by the government, why would they do it? He was already going to be a suspect, so why bother? But one of the things this passport did was actually link this terror attack to Al-Qaeda. The FBI, when they checked into this passport and they looked at it, they found that it was doctored, and it was doctored in a way that matched methods used by Al-Qaeda. So this was really one of the first pieces of evidence that connected it to that terror organisation. So this seems to me like the magic bullet of JFK. Why did they do it the way they did it? I have no idea. But at the end of the day, it worked. Most people didn't question this. Only the people that looked into the evidence and queried it ever wondered. And at the end of the day, even though to me this is a smoking gun, most people in our community don't even know it happened. They just don't care. So that's why the government did it the way they did it, because they knew they'd get away with it. So thanks very much. Our next video is Building 7 and then on to the Pentagon. So if you think we're actually building a pretty good argument against this being a terror attack alone, just wait. There's more.